little more light here. There's one light that comes here. Thank you. Something. Who attended last Gita class? Anybody here? Yeah? 6th verse finished in 3rd chapter? 6th we have to take. Okay. Today we will not be having a after lunch satsang for the Gita class, primarily because we are in the middle of another retreat and we are following that schedule, because of which we have to come back to a class at 4 o'clock. So what I thought I would do is leave some space for question answers at the end of the 2nd session. So we'll have some, time. You can just, if any pressing questions are there, we will take that up in the latter half of the 2nd section. This is a hope, not a promise. So we'll see how it goes. It's just a sankalpa made. Let us see. Okay? Yeah. Shall we begin? Ready? Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We will say the first and the last dhyana shlokas. If you know, you can chant with me. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Mritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Ambatvāmanusandadhāmi Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः. So verse number 6, may as well chant together 1 to 5 and enjoy chapter 3 all over again. Because in the chanting, there is, and especially chanting together, there is that certain energy of the collective memory of having encountered this before. Oh, but I've never studied 3rd chapter before. I assure you, you have. Asmin janmani janmantare va, even in another life. So that spuranam takes place when we chant together. So it's not a, futile action or a time pass. This is all, a certain, there is a certain connection to all this. And so especially when we do it together, that, there is a certain activation of that collective memory of the love for this knowledge and the love for seeking the truth of the self. And so we celebrate that by chanting the first 6 verses together. Together means we chant it together, okay? Not call and repeat, okay? Om atha tritiyoऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच ज्यायसि चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे मदनिश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्. श्रीभगवानुवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनां न कर्मणामनारम्भात् नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जात्यकर्मकृत् कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते. So the 3rd chapter, begins because, and this is a fact, because whatever was told in the 2nd chapter was not fully understood. Let us not make, excuses here. If the 2nd chapter message had been fully understood by who? Arjuna, then the 3rd chapter would not have existed at all. No reason for the 3rd chapter to exist, because the 2nd chapter is so complete in the vision of oneness, in the vision of the fact that this Atma, the truth of the I, is one with everything. There is no other. There is nothing happening to the Atma because it is not subject to destruction, and there is no, person attacking it because there is no person other than the Atma, and neither does the Atma do or attack or anything because it is, it simply is. It is in the form of awareness that is ever experienced, ever present, never acting, never, never a doer nor a done in. This was explained. This is the vision, correct? And then how to lead a life conducive to understanding this vision. Because the vision is here, and to understand the vision, then what is needed to understand the vision is, of course, exposure to knowledge. That is the direct sadhana for Atma Jnanam, for the knowing the truth of oneself. The sadhana, the means is to, the primary means is to study about this vision, is to expose oneself to this vision at the hands of a qualified teacher and drop the ignorance that I am the doer. Ignorance is like Medicare, part A and part B. Part A, I am the doer. Part B, I am done in by other people's doings. Both these are problems. And this goes only when one exposes oneself, a committed exposure for a certain length of time, which is unspecified because, it depends on one's own background, etc., etc. So, but a committed exposure. How long? Even Bhagavan Krishna doesn't give the time frame. Chirena, na chirena adhigacchati. Not too long. And you keep studying, Studying about yourself is like looking at yourself in a mirror, and no matter how much self-loath one has, one can't stop looking at oneself in the mirror. Why mirror? Any reflecting surface. You're just walking, window shopping, suddenly you see yourself. Oh, nice. Maybe 93-year-old. The face is like a road map, full of lines. But still, you meet a reflecting surface and then you look. You can't stop looking. That is the love of the self, except here there is a projection, a transference. The self is confused for the body. So how long should I study should not be a question, because studying should not be a chore. It is not a job. It is just a place to sit and revel in the truth of oneself endlessly. What effort is it? What kind of a striving is it to come to sit here and to listen to the fact that you are great? Tell me more. You are wonderful. Tell me some more. You are without a second. Really? I'm that special? Tell me a little more. Well, you are the cause of the universe. Oh, now you're talking. Keep it coming. What is the effort in this? Isme kya hai? Nothing. It's effortless. And so the question should not be there, how long to study? So then what should be the question? The question rather should be, what can I do in the other parts of my life to prepare this body, mind, sense complex to receive the knowledge? Yeah. Because sometimes what happens is that you're standing in front of the mirror, but then you see a hazy picture, correct? Then what do? What is the first tendency? The first tendency is to get some Windex. You know Windex? Spray the mirror and wipe it off. Fir bhi nothing happens. You still see some kind of, hazy image. And then what is the next recourse? Go to the doctor. And then what? Cataract. There is something obstructing the vision. See, there's only two possibilities. Either the mirror is messed up, and in the beginning people think that only. Yeah. Like some people I've seen, More than one. So that's how I know that this is a common phenomenon. When they are first diagnosed with hypertension, everybody is diagnosed with hypertension. Yeah, that's what it is. Because everybody is hyper and in tension. So this is not a big deal. At some age or the other, if you have crossed 50, hypertension is, waiting with open arms to give you a hug. Yeah, there is nothing, not a big deal. So the first time, because the person has not seen their blood pressure, because that was not a problem up till now. Yeah, aage aiye, come. There's place for you here, come. So, the person had not checked up the blood pressure up till now, and it was, there was no need to. So then some problem, dizziness, whatever happened, then they checked up the blood pressure and it was off the charts. And the first thing is, something is wrong with the machine. I've seen this. Nobody will say, something is wrong with my blood pressure. Change the machine, change the batteries. And 4 batteries and 2 machines later, then, finally they say, okay, I think I need to go to the doctor and, see what is going on. Same thing here. You can't see the face in the mirror. First problem is what? Change the mirror. Find another mirror. Or spray some Windex. Clean. And then still it is hazy. And then what? The problem is with the vision. Why? Because it is a vision of division. That is what the problem is. A vision of division can never, take in fully this understanding of oneness, because it is so mired in the divisions. And so therefore, along with the vision, part and parcel package deal along with the vision comes a lifestyle that is conducive to gaining this knowledge. So the lifestyle known as karma yoga becomes a secondary means. So we have mukhya sadhana. What is mukhya sadhana? The primary means to gain self-knowledge. I already told that. What is that? Listen to the teachings, expose yourself to the knowledge. In other words, sit in front of the mirror. Kuch nahi ho raha hai, I'm not able to see. Okay, go have cataract surgery. That is in the drishtanta, in the example, and in that which is exemplified, what to do? Pray. Second stanza of the Guru Stotram. Yeah. Jnananjana shalakaya. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Namaha, salutations unto that teacher whose job was to teach, who was not a doctor of any kind. The teacher is not a doctor, the teacher is not a psychotherapist, the teacher is not, not anything except a teacher. But because of compassion, the teacher here wielded the scalpel of knowledge and cut through the cataract of division that was obstructing my vision and made me see clearly. Salutations, surrender to that teacher. So like this, the lifestyle becomes the secondary means, karma yoga, and we will see more in detail what that is. Karma yoga becomes the secondary means through which I prepare myself to be able to see the truth of myself. And so the second chapter was complete. The vision was given, was it not? Say yes, even if you didn't attend. Yeah. Yes, And then the lifestyle was given, was it not? Yes, exactly. And so what else is left? Nothing is left. Only thing that was left was for Arjuna to say, Kritakrityoham Dhanyoham, I'm blessed, I'm fulfilled. Thank you, Krishna, now we have a battle to fight. Let's go get them. No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Why? Because the cataract is still there. For whom? Arjuna. And thank God, because there is the third chapter, we all benefit. If there was no third chapter, we would just not, the Gita wouldn't be fun. 2-chapter Gita. It's, what is the fun? You can't even think about it. Yeah, there should be some drama. The first chapter sets up the drama. Arjuna has a panic attack, the first one recorded in history. Yeah, he's got all kinds of, he says, my skin is hot and clammy, and then I'm perspiring, the Gandiva bow is slipping from my hand. And wherever I see, I'm hallucinating, I'm seeing bad omens wherever. Wherever I look, I'm seeing bad omens. And then again we have to thank God that there were no paper bags in those days, because otherwise Arjuna would have said, here bro, take a paper bag, breathe into it for a few minutes, you'll feel better. Then we would have had not even the second chapter. First chapter itself would have been truncated and finished. No fun. With the first chapter we have a full-blown panic attack. And Krishna is, smiling through the panic attack. Because if Krishna also identified with the panic attack, then we'll have to get the Dada of Krishna to handle the situation. Krishna doesn't identify with a panic attack. And in fact, in the 10th chapter of the 10th verse of the second chapter, we are told by Sanjaya that, he is giving the teachings prahasan iva, smilingly. Here somebody is jumping up and down, my whole life is ending, help, I'm drowning. And the person supposedly in charge of rescue is smiling. That should be actually reassuring. But because we have convoluted human minds, it becomes annoying sometimes. But this shows that Krishna doesn't participate in any way in the panic attack at all, because he is free of that. And he is modeling the Atma, oneself. He is modeling the very truth of Arjuna's self that is also untouched by the panic attack. So the first chapter, the whole trauma and the drama of samsara is set up. And if it all finished in the second chapter, it would be like going and seeing a small, short movie. Yeah, like, some kind of art movie, indie film, which is over very soon. And we Indians like long films. Yeah, we want everything to just take its course. Everybody should, including the Joker, should have their say. And they should be running around trees and some musical interludes. Then it is fun. Yeah. And then, maybe they got this whole idea from the Bhagavad Gita itself, because all that is there. There is a nice build-up. And so the second chapter should have finished Arjuna's quest, because it is complete, it is in detail, it is just so beautifully and fully given. There should be no reason for the third chapter. Still, thank God, there is the third chapter, because Arjuna has a doubt. And the doubt, is the same doubt that started in the second chapter, that is voiced in the third chapter, that is going to be voiced in the 5th chapter, that is going to be voiced in the 12th chapter, that is going to be voiced in the 16th chapter, that is going to be voiced in the beginning of the 18th chapter. Same doubt, repeatedly. Just like, when people, in satsangs, the same person asks the same question, camp after camp after camp. As soon as I look at the question, I know who it is from. And The person will be shrinking, sitting in the back. I know who it is from. And why is the same question? Because that means there is something that is resisting looking at the answer. The answer is being given. But the question keeps coming in new ways. Why new ways? Because somehow the mind is convincing, itself that this is a different question. And it's not that the person is trying to outwit the teacher and ask in new ways. It's the helplessness of the person itself that is shown here. Arjuna's own helplessness. Because the moment he said to Lord Krishna, Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Mam, to me, tvam prapannam, the one who is completely surrendered to you, to that me, Shadhi. Shadhi is not Shadi, okay, yeah. Shadi.com wala Shadi nahi hai. This is Shadhi, Shas, to teach. Okay? To you, to me, who is completely surrendered to you. And this surrender is not something willfully. It's not nobody surrenders willfully. Let's just sort of take away all the spiritual romanticism out of surrender. Surrender happens because there is no other go. One is forcefully brought to the knees. One is forcefully made to touch the floor with 8 parts of the body. Ashtanga Namaskar. This is surrender. Surrender and helplessness go together. And here you see Arjuna's helplessness and the surrender going together. And he says, teach me. And what he learns from the 2nd chapter is not wrong. He learns something very basic and very mind-boggling at the same time to him. What does he learn? He learns karma binds. Action binds. Knowledge frees. Simple. This is the message of the 2nd chapter. Nothing wrong. If you had to put the 2nd chapter in a nutshell, this is what anybody would say. Karma binds, action binds, knowledge frees. Jnana is moksha. Jnanena moksha. Jnana is the sadhana for moksha. And then what? But then the 2nd chapter is peppered with statements like tasmat, therefore, yuddhaya yujyasva, get ready for the war. All this chit-chat is nice, this teaching is wonderful, it is being given all right. But get ready to fight, dear one. Vigata jvaro bhava, get rid of this samsara fever that you have. Get ready for the battle, the kettle drums have already been sounded. Pitamaha. Who is Pitamaha? Bhishma is getting, antsy. All the people have gathered. All the units of the battle have, battlefield have gathered. Lots of cacophony. Everybody is sounding, the call, the battle cry. Get ready. Enough. Enough of this. So Arjuna is confused. And this confusion is very, very, has an abiding presence in the Bhagavad Gita, like I said, in the form of Arjuna's repeated questions from the beginning to the very, very end. And what is this confusion? We should see. Because then, when you will recognize it in chapter 3, in chapter 5, in chapter 12, and so on, you'll keep recognizing it. And when you know the source of the confusion, you can enjoy reading about it and how to come out of that confusion. And thank God Arjuna has this confusion because it is a universal confusion. And what is this confusion? Confusion is simply this. If indeed karma, which is action, binds, and if indeed knowledge frees, what should I be doing? Studying, correct? I should be pursuing knowledge. Then what for are you sending me to the battle? What for are you sending me to the battle? Why should I do that? You yourself said, knowledge frees, karma binds. And we also have to here pay a small, pay small attention here to the historical context of this question, where a person who was given to seeking the knowledge had to undergo a change of life. They had to be either what is called brahmachari. What is a brahmachari? The one, a student committed to this knowledge, or what else? Sannyasi. Yeah, that is what it is. That is the sign of somebody committed to this knowledge. Only those are the two options where you are spared from paying your bills. Become a brahmachari, no more bills. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, become a sannyasi, no more bills. Sounds even better, And so this is what the historical context, this is how it was. Can Arjuna be a brahmachari? Too late for that. He is married more than once and he has children. So then what other option is open to him? And in the second chapter he is already, in his mind, gone on Amazon.com and shopping for orange. Which shade? Should I use rusty shade like the Buddhist monks, or should it be brighter orange? What shade looks nice on my skin tone? He has already started, thinking about that. Because he says, better to live a life of alms. Life of alms only means two things. What are those two things? Brahmachari, sannyasi, no other options. Nobody else can live a life of alms. It is a papa karma. Yeah, only two people are entitled to handouts. Other people, other than these two, are supposed to hand out things. Yeah. So, therefore what? Brahmachari and sannyasi, he was neither. But that pravritti, that desire to leave everything and go, had already taken root in his mind. Why? This was even before he heard action binds and knowledge frees. Because he saw sannyasa as an out. Out of what? We have an expression, when the going gets tough, ... What happens? The tough get going. He wanted to do that. He was tough, but the situation was tougher than him, he thought. And he thought, let's just wear orange, sit under a tree, somebody will come and feed. Yeah. From Kurukshetra to Haridwar, one day's, walk. I'll go, sit there. And then, more than anything, I cannot be accused of what? Dereliction of duty, which is again a very historical point here we have to see. Even now, if you just leave the military without getting an honorable discharge, that's dereliction of duty. You can't do that. You have signed up for something. You're supposed to perform. And so here he just thought this is a perfect out, no blame. In fact, I will be revered. And this is what I want to do. And then he hears knowledge frees, and therefore he confuses a lifestyle of renunciation for knowledge. The two have not much to do with one another. In fact, you can pursue knowledge even without being a renunciant. That is the truth. And you can pursue knowledge, in many ways. And that's why this confusion dogs Arjuna till the very, very end. And in chapter 3, we see a specific iteration of this confusion, which is very beautiful. It is beautiful because of Arjuna's candor, his innocence and frankness in talking to this about his confusion to the teacher is very much in the forefront. You can identify with Arjuna, you can feel for him. He says, if you think that knowledge is superior to action, knowledge frees, action binds, then why are you sending me to a life of action? Why are you sending me or consigning me to this horrible ghora karmani? Why are you making me engage in this horrible, horrible action? So much destruction on all sides, This is a, very valid question. It has, we have to see, both a subjective and an objective component. Objectively speaking, it is a desire to go deeper into the distinction between the lifestyle and the pursuit of knowledge. The differences in the lifestyle, whether one is a grihastha or a sannyasi, and then what is the human end, what is the parama purushartha, freedom, and how is that accomplished? There is some confusion. That is the objective component. And then we have a subjective component to this question. And what is the subjective component? I don't want to go to this battle. That is the subjective component. And that's why Lord Krishna, in his astuteness, sees both the subjective and objective components of this question. And that's why this question, like other questions that Arjuna often asks, is not answered directly. Because he says, how come your buddhim mohayasi iva me? It's as though I'm getting confused by listening to you. The more I listen to you, the more I'm as though confused, as it were. Ekam vada nishchitya. Tell me one thing I need to do. Because what I want is Shreyas. If Shreyas is knowledge and Shreyas is moksha, then why am I going to this battlefield? Tell me. If Arjuna had asked his significant other, then the answer would have been different. Because the significant other would have got into this, and generally when we ask people in our lives, what happens, only the subjective component is entered into and answered. Well, I know it's difficult and I know it is hard, and well, I'm sending you to battle because I have something in my mind for your spiritual growth. This is not the level at which the teacher engages, nor they should engage at that level. This is more of a, answering the spirit of the question rather than the question itself. It is for us to see and appreciate the subjective and the objective components of the question so that we can appreciate the answers that ensue forth, for which the sixth verse is an integral part. So he starts. Lord Krishna does not engage in which is, he says, Ekam vada nishchitya, tell me one thing. I'm not going to tell you one thing. You can ask, but that doesn't mean I'm going to tell you one thing. Tell me what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Because you're already confused. And even if I were to tell you what to do, it's not that because I already told you what to do. I told you tasmat yuddhaya yujjasva. I told you to get ready for battle. Are you getting ready for battle? No. You're still not picked up your Gandiva. You're still slumped in the chariot. You're still not, getting ready to fight. Then why should I tell you what to do? I already told you what to do. Did you listen? No. So that means whatever I told you to do is not effective. That means what? There is the occlusion in the vision, in Arjuna's vision, is affecting his Shraddha, because even on the Shraddha level he should have just said, okay, the Guru is saying this, let me just do it. But he's unable to do it. This is not a blame on him, but this is just an observation. He's unable to do it. And so therefore, Lord Krishna has to try a slightly different tack. He says, you are confused about action. And so, let me tell you that the lifestyle, and you're confused about, only two things you're confused about. What are you confused about? You're confused about action, and you're confused about knowledge. Ayyo. Yeah. What else is there to be confused about? Huh? Nothing. That covers the whole gamut of topics in the Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastre, this Yoga Shastra, action, Karma Yoga, Brahma Vidya, knowledge. Yeah, only two things I'm confused about. It's like that. It's like that story where the village chieftain's daughter falls in love with the village simpleton. Okay? Chieftain and simpleton go together, yeah. And she happens to be the only daughter. And the parents say, okay, fine, we'll get you married to him. And then once the marriage is over, you have to find some nice things about the son-in-law to be accepting of. Because what else to do? You have to get to the place of acceptance. So then, everybody comes to commiserate. All the people come to the mommy. I told you who the mommy is yesterday. Mommy means the mother, auntie here. Oh, so, so sad, so qualified this whole family is, and she has gone and married this fellow. No, mommy gets very rankled up, riled up. Mommy says, no. Our son-in-law is very, very good. Very wonderful. Only two problems are there. That's all. Other than these two problems, he's wonderful. What is the first problem? He doesn't know what to do on his own. Check, okay. What is the second problem? Even if you tell him, he doesn't listen. So like that here, here same thing. I'm confused about action. What to do, I don't know. What not to do, I don't know. Then I'm confused about what there is to know and what there is to not know. Then just like that. Our dear son-in-law, like that same story. And so, therefore, Lord Krishna answers the objective component of the question. And what was the objective component of the question? A confusion between the means and the ends, the lifestyle and moksha, in verse number 3. He answers it, when he first starts to talk. That is what he says. And this is the objective answer to the objective component of the question. And he says basically that I have already given a twofold lifestyle. Already given means what? Where? Where have you given, Upanishadi, in the Upanishad. Which Upanishad? Ishavasya Upanishad. Kurvan neveha karma ani jiji vished chatagum samaaha. One lifestyle already. Kurvan iha karmani jiji vished chatagum samaha. Keep doing the work that you need to do and live happily for hundreds of years. And then what? That was one lifestyle. The other lifestyle was Tena tyaktena bhunjitha Magradhakasya svidhanam. In fact, that comes first. Tena tyaktena bhunjithaha. A kind of a paradox here. Protect yourself by letting go. How to protect the self? Self here means the mind-body complex, ahankara, etc. That which is the seeker here. Protect your seeking by letting go, by not hoarding, by not desiring things that belong to others. This is a lifestyle of sannyasa. Let go. Or you continue to do what you're doing because you can't let go. You know, there is some velcro between the palm of the hands and everything, all the objects of desire. And you keep going like this, it is not dropping. Okay, koi baat nahi, don't let go. It will slowly drop. Because, you know, gravity is powerful. Just like that, the Parama Purushartha, the final and the most exalted end of humankind, which is freedom from seeking, is also equally powerful. Don't let go. Don't strive so much. You keep doing what you're doing, but really know that action binds and knowledge frees. Get ready for this knowledge through all the actions that you're doing. Very, very beautiful. This is called Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is not just, being ethical. It means inviting Ishvara as a proxy doer. That is what it is. It is rediscovering yourself as a devotee, where your action is, every action that you do is an archana, like we do in the morning and evening. Omkara Simha Sarvendraya Namaha. Every Namaha, you see the priests, they will put one flower at the foot of the Lord. Omkara Sarvendraya Namaha. Like this. Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. This is a metaphor for every action that you do, which is also Namaha, surrender unto your feet. That action is like a flower. It is fresh. It is dedicated to you. May every action that I do, Vaidika or Laukika, be dedicated towards your feet. So Ishvara is there. Ishvara is the recipient of my action. Just like he is the recipient of the flower in the puja. If you go to the temple, they will pass the basket of flowers to be offered for everybody to touch, because then you have also touched it. And so like this, your own action, each action is like a flower adorning the Lord. And then what? Then, you do that. Swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. This is the key to success. Tam abhyarchya. Worshipping that one who is the cause, the source of all actions. The causeless cause of all actions. One who is, who I invite to be the recipient of all my actions, and who I invite within as the doer as well of all my actions. This Bhagavan, who is all pervasive, worshipping this person, this Purusha, Manavaha, the human being, gains Siddhi, success. Success here is twofold success. One is success in everyday life, in this way of getting ready for this knowledge, to drop the cataract so that I can see the truth of myself faced with the mirror of the Shastra and the Gita and the Guru. I'm able to see myself clearly. So this is, this is a practice of dedicating the action. So the origin of action is what? Ishvara. The doer of action, Ishvara. The recipient of action, Ishvara. And whatever karma phala that comes, the result of action is what? Yeah. See, when all the first three answers are Ishvara, the fourth one also should be what? Yeah, Ishvara. So the fruit of action is also Ishvara. This is karma yoga. And here the karma is not important. Because during the course of the day, one doesn't even know what all one is called to do. You cannot say, this is not my job description. Hey, you, where are you? Oh Lord, I'm an engineer. And now I'm asked to pick up something off the floor, But it's a crying child. Doesn't matter, that's not my job description. You cannot, do that. It is your job description. Why? Because you are in this place, in this time. Right now, pick up the child, find its parents. How can the parents be so careless? Doesn't matter. They can afford to be careless because they knew you would be here. No problem. So during the course of the day, there are so many things that you are going to be doing. So many things you are going to be doing. You don't even know what you are going to be doing. But this spirit of how this action is performed is what is helping here. The action is performed from the place of dedication to Bhagavan, Ishvara, and receiving whatever comes, karma phala, result of action also as Ishvara. That keeps one sane. Yes. That is what is, keeps one going. So action is not important because so many things you do in the course of the day, laukika, vaidika, secular, so to speak, laukika, spiritual, religious, vaidika, although that distinction is really not there in the Hindu tradition. Every action is spiritualized, ultimately, through karma yoga. Why is this important to do? Because for me, I'm not now anymore interested in action and results of action. Ayyo. But I am interested in results of action. Well, time to outgrow this pen chant for being totally focused on the results of action. So the action and the results of action, let them keep coming. Then what am I interested in? I'm interested in knowledge. This is the idea. This is the, this is the objective component of Arjuna's question that Lord Krishna is answering in verse number 3 very beautifully. By making a distinction between the lifestyle and the goal. The goal can be addressed or, gone to either directly as a sannyasi, as a brahmachari. If you have the gumption, if you dare to, you're welcome to drop everything and go this way. No problem. And we don't have churches, we don't have some kind of, Vatican telling you what to do. Imagine all the Swamis under some Vatican. Yeah, and we would all run away. It's completely. And giving out rules, what to teach, what to do. We can't handle all these things. This is not a Swami. Swami means, it's a self-mastery, and so there is freedom. There is freedom to, just be. And so here, that freedom comes with what? With the other side of this freedom, no responsibility, which is wonderful. That's the good news. What's the bad news? No responsibility also means no security at all. It's you and the sky. Big sky, wide enough to hold you along with all the other creatures. Yeah. When the dog or the cat, even a home dog, pet dog, cat, when they get sick, they don't make an appointment with a vet. You make an appointment with the vet. Usually they just go in the corner, go under the bed. That's when you know something is wrong. And similarly, the sages of old just crawled into a cave or under a bush and gave up their lives. Okay, time is gone, finished, it's done. And then maybe they slept for some time or they were unconscious. They came to, oh, not yet, oh, still in the same body. Okay, a few more classes, all right. That is the nonchalance with which the sadhus led their lives. Those days are kind of gone now. First of all, we have no forests. Where will these sadhus repair to, even if they are there? Really. Our Pujya Swamiji was perhaps one of the last in line to live in Recitation and have that kind of a, mud hut with a straw, roof, in the middle of the Ganga, just on the Ganga. Nobody there. 1962. He went there, stayed for 8 years by himself. Oh, there weren't other sadhus? Yeah, there were other sadhus. But when there are sadhus, you don't socialize. You don't say, oh, let's have a cup of chai and discuss. Yeah. At the most you grunt. You're still alive. So am I. And you nod. That's it. You don't sit and yap. Yeah. The bhiksha over here is very good. Better than that one. That's not what is talked about. So, that is I feel sad sometimes when I think that, really, that is an end of an era, so to speak. And there would still be people, in the mountains, sadhus, etc. But to have that, combination which our Pujya Swamiji had, this kind of a life along with the compassion to come back and teach, that is unique, really, rare, rarest of the rare. So we are so blessed, the whole lineage is blessed. So the lifestyle is just basic. Basic means what? You don't feel well? Go crawl under a bush. And suddenly you see some leaves, you think, oh, maybe chewing them will help. Chew them, no problem. Oh no, it worsened the situation, throw up, no problem. And then, now I feel better, oh good, come back. That's how it is. It's you and the sky. There is no security, there is no bank account, there is no something for the future, nest egg, nothing. Nothing there. So that is one lifestyle that is conducive to gaining this knowledge. If you are ready, let's go. Okay? Well, not quite ready. All right. No problem. No loss. If you are not ready, what do? You become ready. How do you become ready? We've already seen the way. You become ready by letting go of the addiction to the results of action. This is what the thing is. This is the objective answer to the objective component of Arjuna's question, which begins chapter 3. Very perfect, beautiful, gorgeous. But then the subjective component, why do I have to fight? Why me? Sad, lonely. But you are not telling me what to do. This is the subjective component. To that, he gives a related answer, which is there in verses 4 and 5, which we have seen, but which is worth reviewing because it talks directly, about, it informs verse number 6. So what is this? Why should I fight? Why should I do this horrible action? So when you say something is horrible, when you qualify an action as horrible, that means what? Subjectivity is in play. Subjectivity is a euphemism for raga and dvesha. Yes. It's nicely put, subjectivity, but really speaking it's raga and dvesha in operation. Raga, quick review, strong preferences. Dvesha, strong, unchecked prejudices. So if certain things you want to do and certain things you don't want to do, that means what? There is subjectivity in play. Raga dveshas are in play. And if raga dveshas are in play, it's not karma yoga. A. And then again, if there are certain things you want to do and certain things you do not want to do, then that means what? You are, what distinguishes the things you don't want to do? Because you don't see any meaning in that action? Or, more importantly, perhaps you don't want the results of those actions. You can't face the results of those actions to which you have an aversion. You either have an aversion to the action itself, or in other words, you have an aversion to the results of action. That is the reason you don't like certain things. I don't like this. What is it that you don't like? I don't like the action. Or I don't mind the action, but I don't like the results of action. So this is what is called karma phala asakti. Asakti is an addiction. Addiction to results of action is not a treatise for spiritual growth. Yeah. It's in fact the opposite of spiritual growth. Because karma yoga is designed clearly to bring you out of the raga dveshas, to bring people out of aversions and attractions. Why? Because as long as aversions and attractions are in play, they cloud the vision. Because when you have aversion and attraction, you have division. You don't have the vision. Wherever there is division, the vision eludes. So you neutralize the action by neutralizing the raga dveshas. Or even the other way around, you can say. You neutralize the raga dveshas and neutralize the actions. And how to do that? Let go of the pen chant of the results of action all the time. Because whenever somebody is asked to do something, the first question, including Brahma Vidya, is, isse mujhe kya milega? What will I get out of this? Even one simple shloka, chant Panchakshari, Shiva Panchakshari. You know, what is Shiva Panchakshari mantra? Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya, etc., 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 etc. That one. You know? You chant that. Then the question immediately comes, Kyo? What will I get out of this? And even the people who write the shlokas, the sages, have to have one phalashruti at the end. Shiva lokam avapnoti, shivena sahamodate. We'll get Kailasa. We'll enjoy Kailasa. When? After the body drops. We'll go and sit in, in the Himalayas with Shiva. And then what? Shivena saha modate. We'll do cha-cha-cha with Lord Shiva. A little two-step. Just as a change from the Tandava. Okay? Yeah. So then, then I will chant. No problem. This is the human tendency. The human tendency, whether it is kayikam karma, a physicalized action, or a verbal action, vachikam karma, manasam karma, always what will I get, what will I get, what will I get? This is what is the, pen chant or the addiction to the results of action. The addiction to results of action is born of self-ignorance. Until self-ignorance goes, the addiction to the results of action will remain at some level or the other. And therefore what? I do a two-prong operation. I, manage my mind and withdraw it from the connection between action and the results of action. I withdraw my mind from going towards the results of action. I train it to not get addicted to the results of action, and I pursue the knowledge at the same time that frees me from wanting results of action. This is the thing. And so, therefore, Arjuna is told that first, my boy, you need to know what action is. What is this thing called action? And therefore, in verse number 4, I think, in verse number 4, he says, it's a very important verse number 4. Verse number 4, he says, the person does not gain actionlessness. The person does not become free of action just by sitting quietly and withdrawing from action. That's the thing. Number one, by sitting quietly, what do you get? Nothing. Nothing you get. You don't become free of action by sitting quietly. Nor by taking to a life of sannyasa do you become free of action. This is not how Naishkarmya Siddhi, which is, the accomplishment of knowing that the I, which is all, awareness, self-aware consciousness, is free of action. This is not how it is gained. This is not how it is gained at all. So you stop acting altogether means what? Who is going to benefit from that? No one, not even you. If you stop acting, that is also an action. Let's say a friend says, so, shall we go to the movies? And you sit quietly. That's still an action. Because you're choosing not to go, correct? That's an action, it's a choice. So by sitting quietly, you don't discover the truth of yourself as naturally actionless, not needing to accomplish anything by action. You don't discover that. And neither by putting on orange robes. You sit there with orange robes. And then what? And you say, I perform no action. This is also not correct. And this is further elucidated in the 5th one, which says that, you cannot remain without doing action. Even for 1 second you cannot remain without doing action, because even helplessly you will be doing some action or the other, because, you are bound by this body-mind-sense complex in which you live. And the body has certain needs, including going to the bathroom. So what are you going to do? Sit there, And so body has certain needs. It needs food, it needs air, it needs water. And so you can't just sit there doing nothing just because you tell yourself, I am a renunciant. And there's a lot of confusion in this. This is, as I said, the subjective component. And you see this in many of the so-called spiritual leaders. When I was young, I was taken to meet somebody like this. As a small girl, I was taken to meet one Maharaj Ji who was so, beyond and gone. I had a lot of Shraddha. I thought, this very wonderful person. I'll go there and get the blessings. I was very excited to meet. And then I saw this Maharaj Ji sitting there, and then we were told that he doesn't do anything. Nothing he does. He has so much vairagya that he doesn't even eat. I said, oh my God, This was a 6-year-old, me, saying he doesn't even eat. No, we feed him. 2 ladies then came with pots of food, already, mixed up. And then one would feed from this side, the other would feed from the other side. But he was opening his mouth. I saw that. And one time one of the ladies got a little distracted, and she had the roti and little sabji rolled up in it, a little piece of that near his mouth, halfway through his mouth, and she was explaining, Maharajji really doesn't care what he eats and what this thing, and she didn't feed him on time, so he went and got it midway. And then we hear so many things like this. Naishkarmya Siddhi. What is this? If you can go here and go there, you're just at the most, you're just an overgrown baby bird. That's all you are. Big bird. Yeah. You're wanting to be all, mashed up and fed. And he had his preferences. He preferred whatever the lady on the left side had to the little grub that the lady on the right side had, because whatever she had was not that interesting. And so he was keeping on. He was a leftist bent. Kept on going this side. Ridiculous. And then, we had this another spiritual leader who, said, I'll never go to the bathroom. He himself declared. Why? Come on. Don't do this to yourself, really. But no, I never go to the bathroom, he declared. And all the people came, the scientists came. And surely he was in a secluded place, in one corner. And they looked up and down. No bathroom indeed existed. He passed away with his reputation as a non-bathroom going sadhu intact. And then later it was discovered that under the bed there was a trap door leading to a flight of stairs where there was a bathroom. Terrible. Why? This is the whole thing. This is the confusion. This is when the renunciation takes place without, the knowledge. Renunciation is a lifestyle. It's more intended to be an expression of the knowledge rather than, a posturing. Cannot be a posturing. And that is what verse number 5 teaches, that even if you withdraw from action, you haven't withdrawn from a very important fact. What is that? The notion that you are an actor. Here we come to the bread and butter of Vedanta. The notion that I am an actor, as long as it is ensconced as your identity, then whether you do something or whether you don't do something doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in the least bit. Because you are identified as an actor. And that's why you have a pressure to not do. So now coming to verse number 6, let us see the meaning. Karmendriyani samyamya. We have already illustrated this verse. Having managed, samyamya, having managed or disciplined the organs of action, karmendriyani, yaha, the one who aste, sits, manasa smaran, sits with the mind very, very active. And what is the mind active? The mind is keeping on remembering the actions and the results of action and the objects of action. The mind is busy. The mind is wedded to the world of action. And then what? Indriyarthan. Indriyarthan. We move. Indriyarthan means the sense organs. The mind is dedicated to the objects, seen by, remembered by the sense organs. Then what? Vimudhatma mithyacharaha cha saha uchyate. Bhagavan is relentless. Bhagavan gives a lot of names to people. And here, Yeah, here are two fine examples of name calling by Bhagavan. One is Vimudhatma, and if such a person has taken to a life of sannyasa, Vimudhatma Nandaji, That's all you have to say, not going to the bathroom, not eating, not doing this, not doing that, And even in the Buddhist version, there are stories like this, there is a conversation between two shishyas, we are told. One shishya says, my teacher is so enlightened, he doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't go to the bathroom. And the other shishya says, my teacher is so enlightened that when he is tired, he sleeps, when he wants to go, he goes, and when he wants to eat, he eats. Like this. So the first one, is Vimudhatma. Vimudhatma is a confused soul, a confused entity, confused about the fact that, it's not what you do or what you don't do. It's how you identify as an actor. If you're already identified as an actor, it doesn't matter if you sit down and if you train the organs of action to sit quietly, you're still an actor. Because you identify as one. So Vimudhatma, deluded soul, confused soul. Why? Because you are solely confused. Simple. And then the other epithet, name given by Bhagavan Krishna to such a person is Mithyachara, fraud. Mithyachara means fraud. No, Mithya, Satyam, don't go there. This is, don't get all Vedantin on me. This is a name calling, I told you. Mithya here means fraudulent behavior. Not in keeping with what you really, just sitting quietly. And you see this, you go to Lakshman Jhula and Ram Jhula in Rishikesh, you see various characters sitting there. And half of Rishikesh is in orange. So it's very confusing whether they're doing it as a lifestyle or whether they're, doing it to get some money. We don't know. We don't need to question. But you see, there's one Baba, who had never opened the eyes. But then what? He's got a cloth spread and coins are coming. And the coin comes, he looks little bit and then closes again. So this is what is called Mithyachara, Vimudhatma. The one who is totally confused. More we shall see at 11:30 exactly. Just a 10-minute break and come back and then we will continue further. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.